Today, from Seattle, Washington, it's Week 14 of the NFL. A Sports. Kyler Murray and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Zach Wilson and the New York Jets.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the SoDo district of Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the New York Jets and the Seattle Seahawks. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now here are the Seahawks in great shape to start their first drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you got to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Murray. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Well, a shaky start for both quarterbacks now. We had the interception on the opening drive, and now they throw it right back to him.
So does that mean we're really kind of starting from the beginning, Brandon, right? Both of them have done it, so we kind of start from scratch. Looks to me like both of these defenses have done their homework, and they're executing quite well.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now Wilson on 1st down. He finds his target. It's Evans. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. That's complete. It's Elijah Moore. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's a big play that time by the Jets.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Carlson able to put this one through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And Kuda.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. Mack again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th. The kick by Carlson is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Offense, we take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
Now on 2nd and 13, Murray. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that poster out there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Moore. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after one. Throwing on first down is Murray. He gets it complete to Harris. That catch good for only a couple.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Again, he finds Moore. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
And here's a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. With that catch, he's now 18 away from 1,000, so he's at 982. And that's how many Randy Moss had, 2018 Hall of Famer.
And similar to the recent Hall of Famer, we argue about which...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kyler Murray. Fine work there on the touchdown run. And the Seahawks are now just an extra point away from moving out in front.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Point after, right down the middle. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The New York set to take the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Murray now on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Catch is made by Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 8. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he is going to have a Jets first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. It's complete. He dials up Davis once more. And he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8, as that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Husky, Marcus Peters. And the Seahawks are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. And when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
First down, Murray. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Murray now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Harris. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. His throw caught at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Murray now. Dancing to his left. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kyler Murray with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. So that drive 7 plays in length. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Jets going to go on offense one last time in this first half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing is Wilson. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On second down at 4, Murray. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's Murray from midfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
flushed it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. That'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Here's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A couple of 1st downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
From the 22, Murray. Quick slant, caught by Moore.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you...
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kyler Murray, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Kyler Murray ready to get back under center. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, loosen things up and get their big guy going again.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the gun on third down, Murray. He finds his man, complete. It's Hudson. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Murray now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Hudson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Murray flips this forward on the jet sweep. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. Now Murray. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Touchdown, Seahawks! Rondale Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will bump the lead up to 26. That time, a 9-play drive, and it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. He'll go underneath here to his running back. Catch is made. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away. On 1st down, Hines. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball. Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort. Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down. Buying time to his left. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed. Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Murray flips his forward on the jet sweep. Shifts by him. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. To throw is Murray. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there. Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Escaping the pressure right. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff,
attached to the game plan and being ready to go in this one, you're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Wilson's throw going to be caught by Davis. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Throwing again on second down. Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Evans. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him. And
pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. To try again after the sack. Wilson. This one caught by Davis. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Fournette, a 1st down carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Second down, back to Fournette. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to